So tene
Recording in progress.
Yangter nganzu ji tu song ga bu jung tene sama ta shelangi bu jung ijere samgedus.
So we are coming together once again. I hope you had a pleasurable lunch.
Tiring Amitabha ki dishina ba seba sumju re. Tene seba sumju la tene Mongoli tene mango visit lep do de la flore la. Tene cherang so sangma tiring gongda France ki chutsu tukpa la. Anzu di nyamlin chi je go do tene shugu do chutsu tukpa la France. Sangma nyambo Ghana Chakra teki. Live now.
Yes, Lord. So as people are slowly joining us, I would like to mention that today is the last day of the lunar month, the 30th of the lunar month, which is a day in terms of calendar, religious calendar, which is often dedicated to the Buddha Amitabha. And because it's a special day, it's like a little bit like the full moon, it's the new moon. And in the Himalayan tradition, as well as in many other traditions, so today is new moon, and in many traditions, the new moon is a sort of holiday. It's a special day. And today we have a group of visitors from the Himalayas at the Dupapure in our center. And they live in France, but they are from Mongolia. And because it's new moon, they thought it would be a good idea to come and join our practice, our evening practice in particular. And the new moon is a perfect moment for connecting with Amitabha. So we'll have a special important practice of Amitabha at 6 o'clock French time, which is 5 o'clock UK time. And it will be streamed live on our Facebook page. So if you want to do the practice that we are studying today, you can join us. Just go on Drupapure's Facebook page, and for this new moon day, we will do the Amitabha, exactly this practice at 6 o'clock French time.
Tene charansu la pecha yuna, tene charansu kangma nangla, ya woshi ne de, tene senda wina kwan, tene pyo dhapu par, chime dhapu par, tene chutse nyiring la ya woshi, tene nyambo, nyamlen je na, tiring kecha mangbo shi chu, tene nyamlen ji je na, pe ya ho yores.
And it's very simple, it's open to all, it's free. You can stay in your home, in a comfortable place. If you have the text, you put the text in front of yourself and you sit correctly. If you have some vows and a zen or some shawl or something that has been blessed or that is associated with your vows, it's the time to wear it, and then also to prepare the environment before it starts. You can light a candle, you can light an incense stick and get yourself ready, and then you do the practice, and we will be all together in the same energy, in the same ritual, and you will be comfortably at home at the same time.
Tene nganzo nangba de le jumde rwa, nganzo nangba ki tawa so di le jumde yebar tawa, sedi nganzo samlo tango tawa. Samlo tangdi jiwa ngoma la nganzo la, jiwa ngoma la kewa chigi warwa di samlo tango. Tene sanje ki ngama kangje dada ki lela ta, dada ki lula ta, sungara ngama jiwa ngoma sonam ki chok sak dikwa dabu pang kiwa dabu drubi na tanda nganzo tene miluri mochi top sanje ki chodang jala nyamnen jaya yoba di tsangma jewa ngoma ki katinda ba jewa ngoma la leya uchi jetiwa samne tene kago dwa ngama kanji tata lela ta lula ta ngama kanji tata lula ta ta nganzo nangba sanje lula tanda nganzo ki lega jaya di tsangma sedigi lega mariba jewa chima milur mochi tabya tene turi kia sanje gopang tabya di dundala chegero tene chima kandu tata lela tas jewa chima kandi chiyungudu tanda nganzo lega jetangde lago gore sundi tanda lega jeti sangma jewa chima tene yakbo yunga chili jeyindi pe kechimburedo tene tanda sonamge tsawo sagoya dikpa pangoya kewa tupuya tene rangi nyumongpo desu desi kontrol chegoya desu da dirido sanjeki di sundi tene da sanjeki denda mariwa tsawa lama denda mariwa susu denda pe kechimburedo tene tenda bu jewa chimage lega di sukange jetu mariwa tene sanjeki shugi tene hagwane dikpa pangewa tupcheya dirido pe da pe sono chimurida charanzu tsama sanje te sagung chue hagung ngasana pe sono chimurida.
And I would like to add that having this possibility of studying a text, I mean, we are just for 2 days, several hours, 4 hours yesterday and again today, studying and talking and even answering questions about this practice of Amitabha and generally what the practice and what the path is, and in particular the infinite light path and the pure land path. And just with this coincidence that we'll have this session, we are on new moon, and all this is the result of our past merit. It doesn't come from nowhere. Whatever we can enjoy and the facilities we have now and the capacities and the opportunities, they come from our past deeds and from past life actually. If in this life we can practice, get the teachings and an interest in the teachings and opportunity to receive them and contemplate and put them into practice, it's amazing. It's the result of a great exertion in previous lives. There has been a life when we have generated this aspiration to practice, to develop spiritually, and we have performed the good deeds and the activities and the mental effort that make it possible for us right now. So I think it's important to appreciate and really to be happy to be here with all these capacities and opportunities and freedom we have now to practice and to contemplate the teachings. As it is said that if you want to know what you have done in your past lives, look at where you are now, physically, materially now, what your body is, because this is the result. This is a karmic result from previous life. And if you want to know what will be your body and your condition next life, it is said that just look at what you're doing now, because what we're doing, physical, verbal, mental, is what will lead to the next existence, to the shape and the form and the experience we would have, and the kind of body, which means kind of birth we will have. So it's all about our activity, and we are very fortunate. I think we are very fortunate. I think we are amazingly fortunate, because the Dharma is so precious, and this freedom we have and these blessings we have in our life that makes us able to practice and to contemplate and all that. I think we are very, very fortunate, and this is a great merit.
Jiwa Chima Nimaji Shini Shigir, Tenden Yankee Gorava, Jiwa Chima, Zamboling de la Ke Kudu, Milur Machi Top Gudu, Tene Maran Jiwa Chima de Tene Family Yabo Chila Ke Gudu, Tene Maran Subu Devo Gudu, Shirab Yabo Gudu, Tene Deva Gudu, Ningje Gudu. Tene khala saya disu samay gogido kangtar jiwa chimala suk jebo gogido ke yakbo gogido ma longje yakbo gogido khor yakbo family yakbo gogido sidire ngarangide ana sanje tende ko na kharche gore sidi tene jimba tangore sungudo jimba tangna longje yakbo yongore kangal kale yamares Tene Situm Sungores, Tene Subupe, Tene Zebo, Ninjebo, Ke Yakbo Kegre, Samakaya Tenes, Tene Seba Gomgori, Korpe Yakbo Aba Ama Pinja Kemen Choga Pugu, Pe Yakbo Yongore, Sundi, Sanje Chonanga, Tangbodi, Jimba, Situm Sebadi, Jewa Chima Dubido, Jewa Chimala, Milir Mujitum Yakbo Yongare. Tene yang te jagar ki lopun lutu naga jana ki jewa chima milur mbuchi thomna ta zambuling la kena ta tene jewa chena kia sanje ko phong thawya desu lela bore sungdwa thangi bore namsang wote sungdwa ten zang tene jewa chima de kechimu char Lamsang Sanje Gopong Lamnata Kalekhaporeva, Rimshin Doyana, Tene Jena, Tene Jimbatang, Sutum Sungore, Sepakon, Tinan Duvidwazama.
And so it just requires these good opportunities that we have obtained through our past activities, past lives activities. What we need to do in this life is just ensure we are not indulging into negative activities and that we are performing positive, beneficial activities, and that we keep our mental afflictions under control as much as we can. To some extent, we have to work on that. And all of this is not depending on the Buddha. It's not about the Buddha. It's about ourselves. We cannot expect that because we have a connection with the Buddha, all is done. It is our own responsibility. As well, it's not the guru, it's not the teacher. We cannot just think, okay, I have a good teacher, I have a good master, I have a good guru, I'm fine. It is our own responsibility to ensure we avoid negativity, we perform positivity, and we control our own mind. And with that, everything will be on the right track with all these conditions. If I take my example, okay, I'm going to die for sure, and I know that I'm going to die, and I know that I don't know when I will die, but I try to keep in mind that I want to get this opportunity again, the same kind of opportunity, and to develop it. So at the minimal aim for next life is a proper human body. I want a good body, workable and pleasant, comfortable body. I want wisdom and intelligence with this body. I want also to be someone compassionate and kind. And I want to have a good entourage, a good family, good parents and brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins that are supportive spiritually. And I want material possession, I want good food, I mean proper food, and all the material ease. Which means we all need that. We need a pleasant, comfortable, beautiful body, pleasant voice, beautiful voice, and the possession that will make our life not be a struggle. And we want also a nice family, nice people around us in our life, the parents, the brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, and the cousins, all the people around us in our life. We want them to be nice people and supportive people. So how do we get that? How did we manage to get that? Because now we have the right condition. And how can we ensure to get that again? Basically, there are virtues to practice, which sometimes are also associated with enlightenment, like the paramitas, the perfections, but not now talking about perfection. For next life, generosity. Being generous in this life ensures that we'll get enough and comfortable material possession in the next life, and the comfort and the ease by being generous. And by being morally disciplined, which means following ethics, we ensure to have appreciation from the people around us, that we will be liked, that we will be supported by being by having an ethical conduct. And through our tolerance and patience, we ensure that in the next life, the family and the entourage will be kind and will be supportive, will be tolerant and accepting and supportive. So all these conditions that support our practice, we can ensure them by practicing generosity, moral discipline, and tolerance. And so this is very important. Even though this can be also transcendent perfections, they are also basically practices that are important to ensure that we can follow the path, life after life. And the greatest teacher and philosopher of Buddhism in India, in the history of Buddhism, was Nagarjuna. And he said, once you have managed to get this precious human existence, which is endowed with all these conditions that make it possible to practice and to receive the teachings and to practice, then it's very easy to ensure that we get out of samsara, be reborn in a pure field of a Buddha, or be fully enlightened. This is easy because the conditions are there. The main thing is to ensure we have these conditions, which we have right now. And that doesn't mean when we say it's easy, just get the precious existence and then it's all done. It's not all done immediately, instantaneously. It will be a progressive path, but we are on the path, which is the most difficult thing to ensure, to be on the right track, and then we can progress on the track gradually. So what I mean here is that we are fortunate, and it is important that we keep on being generous and having good ethics, and also being tolerant and patient.
So da tene da yang di nyamne di ko tsuginda shilip ni a chapter ne jenen do yin seangjar.
So let's do together the practice. Kyamdo ne dupela. Yeah. We just skip the introduction and we jump to page 2A, the refuge. Page 2A.
In the ten la wa temajar sama.
So we fold hands.
Da chapter cheyor da chapter tekwa chimbe chapter.
Let's take refuge, and let's take refuge in the ways of the Mahayana with the great intent.
Shi Gun Joy Sung Sa Samay Jan Zai Na Gojo Songe Sasama Janzana Nahavaya Daye Jervaya Zenjala Dasa Gaja Dovaya Malugam Dezoy Jajo Barado Jazoje Injikela.
Once in English. In Amitabha, who truly is the three jewels, the three roots, in an ocean of masters surrounded by the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, I and as many beings as space can hold, all without exception, take refuge from today until enlightenment.
Teneda kunju sumgi chabyul ki tunla tene nganzo tekwa chenpo semche kyorwa tekwa chenpo semche seti semchen tamche rangi pamari pamandiso tene nge song sumle patane tori midang hala kya tartuk tene tori ne tene tori lapa tene jangcho toya deso ki tendala nge sanje ki chola tuyo som gong som chegin samne promisi chegura.
And the next bit is the generation and development of our mind of enlightenment, which means that we now commit to reaching enlightenment and therefore to receive the teachings, contemplate, reflect upon them and apply them intellectually and then practically through meditation, apply them to our own life and mind stream for the sake of all sentient beings, in order to liberate or to get all sentient beings to be free from samsara, from the ocean of suffering.
Re re do korove pama de jana aize menye trabe alaine aido sepe solera ondode ala me janjo to paraise menjendo are do korave pamai denjana aize menyenje drabe ko alaine aindo ingazebe solera undode ala me janjo tobar semejedo.
She, the 6 classes of beings of samsara, my very kind fathers and mothers, feeling an unbearable compassion, I resolve to liberate them definitely from samsara's ocean of suffering, so that they obtain unsurpassable awakening.
Teneda sumba yenla dimbare da yenla dimba diyang chawige laso la chawige laso konjo sumla tene yenla dimba ki nyamlen tuyla yenla dimba ki nyamlen chego yore di kain se na khasan lapso sonam ki chok mena tene sonam ki chok mena konjo sum ki jelabe anjuk tu kumindawa semjela rongwa che te kumindawa 개치쇼도 소놈 싸고 소놈 그 소다 이시서 대인상 Tene Enlightenment da sonum sok saagi, yona menade Enlightenment.
Next is the 7-branch prayer. And we, until now, and still right now, we are visualizing and bringing to our mind presence of the 3 jewels in front of oneself. They are the place where we take refuge, the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So they are still in front of oneself. And in front of them, we will perform this 7-branch prayer, starting from frustration and so on. And why do we do that now? We already explained that yesterday. It's because without merit and without wisdom, there is no way to develop spiritually and to reach enlightenment. Especially, we need to accumulate, that means to gather as much, to create as much positive energy within our mind stream and within our life, which we do by performing these 7 branches of accumulation of merit. So this is what we do right now. To Amitabha, the Buddhas, their offsprings, and the noble Shravakas and Pratika Buddhas, I prostrate, make offerings, and confess negative acts. I rejoice in virtues. I request you to turn the wheel of Dharma, not to pass into Nirvana, and to remain constantly in this world. I dedicate all the roots of virtue to enlightenment.
Tene nganzo chu nyamlin je di barche mangbo yorwa. Tene barche di chi barche mi suk body. Tene yang body maimba. Sem di hang record. Sukchen na sukme di nganzo la barche chigawla. Tene nangi barche. Nangi barche di nyonmungba rangjula tusha sha na timbo. Nangi barche. Sangwe barche di tene tongbanyi komya la tene di hama honga di sangwe barche che chi nang sangwa ki barche di su nyamlin jewe ka la meba gozang tene torma tene kek te si di chi nang sangwa ki barche dogo yarwa diranda.
Next part of the ritual is to deal with the demons which create obstacles. And when we talk about obstacles for a spiritual practitioner who is engaging in the practice as we are right now with this ritual, there are 3 types of obstacles: the external obstacles, the inner obstacles, and the secret obstacles. That means innermost obstacles. So the external obstacles, they are the people or the things that have a physical existence and that can harm or impede us or interfere physically, like human beings who are physically there in our life. They exist physically in our life and they can create obstacles. But these external obstacles are also entities or forces or energies that cannot be seen, that have no physical growth existence, such as spirits and all kinds of spirits and negative forces that are roaming around and may harm. Especially in the Himalayan culture, there's a lot of emphasis on spirits. And that's the external obstacles. And then the inner obstacles are what is within ourselves. First off, our own resistance and negativity, our own stupidity and attractions, desires and aversions and hatred, and all these negative, afflictive states of our mind that create a hindrance and prevent us from a practice or a successful, effective, and efficient practice. And then there is the secret obstacle, which is that we don't understand and we don't try to rest on the understanding and the realization of emptiness. So this is the most secret or innermost obstacles. And we don't want any of these obstacles, external, inner, or secret, to interfere now and to prevent our practice to be successful. So there is a part of the ritual which is called the offering or dedication of the toma of the troublemakers, the demons, or the obstacle creators. So what we just said is, I am the great powerful Heruka, assembly of demons, negative beings, harmful spirits. Take this toma, which places the senses, and go to the other side of the ocean. And then we recited this powerful mantra, which forcefully expels all these negative energies and spirits. Om Sumbani Sumbani Hum Hum, and so on. And as we do that, now we want to cut ourselves off these negative forces, and we build a fence. We've set a fence, which is made of wisdom, and it's called the circle of protection, which is a sort of security, ensuring that now that we have expelled these negative energies, they cannot harm us, they cannot come back, because there is this circle of protection around us. Here, as we play the bell, if we have a small damaru, we can also play the small damaru. Small damaru is the little drum, hand drum. So we just said, she, in the three worlds of Pema Heruka, as a result of the play of great wisdom, not even the names demon or harmful spirit exist. Samsara and Nirvana are wisdom's great expanse.
Tene damaru di niku tila dido damaru alaba tak ni.
Okay. When we play the damaru, we have accelerated and then quite fast play of the little drum, and then when we end, we make one sort of dry sound. And sometimes we make two, and sometimes we make three. Here we make two. We end the churning, or I don't know how to say, the playing of this little hand drum with the two greater sounds.
Da jinbebre da sosola sanje da chanjisi matamjiki 먼저 냠린 징이라 진럽 왕 디서 냠린 지초하게 되는 데레피 버르신 지겨.
And then it's called the shower of blessings. And as we said, we call the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas headed by Amitabha to shower upon us the blessings and the empowerment that enables us to do the practice successfully. So again, we recite in Tibetan and we invoke the blessing in Tibetan, and then there is the mantra or the formula Om Amidewashi Abhishaya A, which is in Sanskrit, and which brings down the shower of blessing to our meditative state. And when we recite this formula, we play the bell and we play the hand drum, the damaru. And as we conclude the play and the mantra and the formula, then again, it is a double sound, strong sound to conclude the play. So tak, tak at the end of the play of the damaru. And what we just said is Shri, from the peerless palace of great bliss, protector Amitabha, protectors, assembly of Sugatas and victorious Bodhisattvas, shower me with your grace and bestow the initiation upon me.
Tene da choba chilam raba, tene ramyam kams, tene ngamzagi ninzengi namto tamze mebajan, tene chinang sangwa choba semgita, tene tanda sanje yoba me latsola choba piyoki tati chekyo dila deret.
And then the blessing of the offerings. So as we have explained, we resort to the seed syllables Ram, Yom, Kang, and with that we purify all offerings, the one we have prepared physically on the altar, and mostly what we emanate and imagine with our mind filling the space. All this is purified from the main dirt, the main dirt, which is the dualistic grasping. So all is purified, all the attachment to reality and all dualistic concepts are purified. And as we recite that, we hold the Vajra and the bell. And it's not yet the moment when we offer the offerings, it's just preparing and consecrating the offerings.
Ramyam Gama Munje Nando Tom Barajaya Donye Ile Regbe Adara Chena Sawa Chebe Asam Nam Kede Doja Sarva Mondala
Okay. Attachment to reality and concepts are purified by emptiness. From the ultimate sphere of emptiness and the dynamism of awareness come clouds of exterior, interior, and secret offering, immaculate space treasure. And we play the bell. We don't play the namaru here, just the bell.
Teneda muishi dakche dang dunje komedi libarda dakche chenesi komedi.
So next is after all this preparation and setting the scene of the main practice comes the meat of it, the main body of the practice, which is generating oneself as an enlightened being, in this case the great compassion, Chenrezig, and in front of oneself, generating the Buddha Amitabha.
The Sharja Toginda, Tambo Chen is a Takchekum, Teniba Tsikdilidi, Rangadunganakar, Sanjay Bomayako, set up Digil Choshi, Samji, Tengula, Sanjay, the judges, Matamje, Kane, Sugar, Samatri, Chasant.
So it has several sections. The first one, we focus on ourselves. We generate ourselves as Avalokiteshvara, Chenrezig. When this is done and we really visualize and see ourselves as Chenrezig, the next step is in front of oneself is the Buddha Amitabha, who is our root guru. And when this is done, we visualize the entourage of Buddha Amitabha, which means in all the directions, the four cardinal, the four intermediate, and the nadir and the cynic are also filled with Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, protectors, no enlightened and saint of all traditions. And then the next part will be light radiating and inviting the primordial awareness. So it's several stage generation. We'll do this in English. So it starts page at the last line, last verse of page 4. 3. The quality of samsara and nirvana, devoid of concept, since beginningless time, unobstructed natural radiance, all-pervading compassion, undifferentiated great union. On the lotus moon cushion, the letter Shri immediately transforms into myself, the great compassionate one, noble altruism. This body is a glowing white, like a resplendent conch shell. He has one face, 4 arms, and is clothed with the attributes of the Sambhogakaya. In his first two joined hands, he holds a wish-fulfilling jewel which bestows all needs and desires. The other two hold a crystal mala and a white lotus. His appearance is without substance like a rainbow. The realm of this space, visualized before you, is fulfilled with clouds of various offerings permeating space. In the middle is a white lotus with 100,000 open petals. On it is a full moon disk on which resides the root guru, one with the protector Amitabha, luminous red with a ruby-colored aura, one face, 2 arms, and 2 legs in the Vajra posture. His body is beautifully clothed with 3 robes of the Dharma. His 2 hands, placed on over the other, hold a lapis lazuli bowl. He has a crown protuberance, and on the sole of each foot, a Dharma wheel. He is ornamented with the 32 excellent major signs and the 80 minor marks. Above and below him, in all the cardinal and intermediate directions, visualize Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, the noble Sangha, Gurus, Yidam, Dakinis, and Dharma protector, an immeasurable entourage like clouds filling the sky. The principal deities' 3 places are in the nature, the 3 Vajras marked with Om, Ah, Hum, and Shri, from which radiate countless rays of light to the realms of the 10 directions. This invite the assemblies of wisdom deities. And here, as we invite, as it says, inviting the assemblies of wisdom deities, we play the bell and we play the hand drum, the damaru, and we end the play of the damaru with only 1 single stack. So you can mark, you can put the annotation. So now, as we embark on this invitation, there are 4 lines and a Sanskrit formula for the invitation. So let's do it. So when we chant this, you notice it's not 4 verses, it's 5, so it's not an even number. Therefore, we recite the last verse twice, Matov Nyoroa, Nidushe Susel, and then we recite the Sanskrit expression. As we do that, we play the bell and the Damaru, Om Amidewa Shivandra, Samaya Zaza Abhishaya A, and we end with only 1 single tsarj, which means 1 strong, dry beat at the end of playing.
Tene ishige laso nam chen changne shuksu sol saterda shuksu solwan tereva.
And now that we have invited this wisdom beings, we request them to be seated and to stay, to remain with us.
다들 다기 원수 곰샤치여와 되게 이 시스템에서 팹네 되는 딜라 팀기여와 되는 있으면 가지고와 담스sem마다 시스템 님에도 주고여와
The idea is that we have visualized ourselves as Avalokiteshvara and Amitabha in front and all the Buddhas in front filling the space. And now we want this to be pervaded and suffused by wisdom, by the enlightened wisdom of all the Buddhas. So therefore we invited them to bring their primordial awareness and blessing. And we request that this stays, that this remains in the scene we have set through our visualization. So it's a sort of fusion, that melting of the primordial blessing, primordial wisdom coming and merging with our visualization. This is what we mean when we request to remain.
In the Samaya Titalil Atibu Tadeza Tadila Dibu Tamaru Kaya Minduda.
Okay, so here, as we request the wisdom to remain with our visualization, we join hands and we don't play the bell or the damar. So we just say, on a beautiful, I'm just reading the translation here, whatever is written is what we read for now. On a beautiful throne with a lotus and moon cushion, the principal wisdom deity and the surrounding assembly of deities, please remain forever inseparable from the dancing paths. I prostrate with the great bliss of equanimity. Samaya Tiktalen Atipuho Pratitsa.
Amitabha Hasola, Chi Nang Sangwagi Chubapia.
And now we present the offerings, the external, the inner, and the secret offerings.
Aloge Gendenende Shabda de Zabuza Dila Jibu Jamaru Zarsum Dila.
So the text that we chant in Tibetan express the presentation of the offerings, the fact of actually offering the external, inner, and secret offerings. And then we have what we just recited in Sanskrit. And at the end, we play the bell and the damaru. And when we play the damaru, we end the play of the damaru with 3 dry, strong tar beats. So the text says, 3 outer offerings, senses goddess, fill the entire space. Inner offering, I offer men, Rakta, and Dharma. Secret offering, the union between great bliss and the wisdom consort. For the purpose of ultimate offering, union of clarity and emptiness beyond intellect.
Aye, Ma Benza, Armenda, Radagara, Kaye. Da, Tene, China, Sanwagi Chipadi, Tene, Dene, Dewa Chimbo, the Tongma Yirva, Chene Chaja Chimbati Pure. Muda, Dharma, Dhammo.
And so Mahapansa Amrita Rakta Karamkahi is the offering of the inner offerings. And we recite this 3 times with the muja that represents the offering of Amrita, men, and which is called men in Tibetan, it's the nectar, and the offering of Rakta, which we usually translate as Rakta. And that was the inner offering, men Rakta, and Torma, and Muja Dharma Dhatu A is the 3rd offering, the secret offering. And as we recite it and we contemplate the meaning, which is the great union of the ultimate primordial expanse, and we perform this mudra where we cross Vajra and Bel, the great union, and we cross the arms on our chest. As we end the formula, which is Mudra Dharma Dhatu A.
Da Tyobarita, Tyobatin, Dojidan Tivichi, Lapatin, Tyobarita.
If I may add, when you see A with the H at the end, it means it's a long one. The second is very long. Next step is praise. Praise we offer to the wisdom deities. And for that, we still hold the Vajra and the bell. And as we praise, usually very often we praise with the joined hands, but here we hold the bell in the left hand, and the right hand holds the Vajra, and therefore we don't exactly fold hand, but we bring the hand with extended fingers, we bring it with extended fingers as if we are joining hands at the level of the heart. So with that, we conclude the praise and we conclude all what we had to perform in front of Buddha Amitabha. Now we just connect with this prayer of, as we explained this morning, being reborn in Dewa Chain and being inseparable from Amitabha or Amitayus. So as you noticed, we played the bell. Anytime we said, I pay homage and praise you, which in Tibetan reads as Chat Sel Tu. So second line, second verse, and first line, first verse. play the bell. So now we do the request before we recite the mantra. Oh, let's read the praise in English. Shri, Amitabha, you unify in you all the Buddhas, unchanging, red in color with a ruby radiance. Your unobstructed voice possesses the 60 qualities. Your unwavering mind is unelaborated, great bliss. I praise your body, which is the three kayas of great wisdom. Sugatas, turn the wheel of the Dharma, always look upon beings with compassion. So, as I said, it's not a request. You turn the wheel of Dharma, you always look upon beings with compassion. You guide all migrating beings on the perfectly pure path. I pay homage and praise you, compassionate ones of skillful means. So, and we join hands now for the request. Three times. So we usually do 3 times. We'll do the third time in English. So a second line as last verse. Myself and the infinitude of all beings. As soon as this life is over, may we be born in the pure land of great bliss and see the face of protector Amitabha. May we have a long life without illness and be happy. May we be inseparable from the protector Amitabha. So if you, before we recite the mantra, we can consecrate our rosary, reciting Om Rutsi Ramani Prawadana Yesoha. So if you have your mala, you can do that. We recite 21 times the mantra Om Rutsi Ramani Prawadana Yesoha. So you take your mala from the main bead, the main pearl, and then you let it be rounding like a coiled snake in your hand, so that it's like that. You hold the right hand slightly over as if you covered, but not completely covered, and then you can count with your thumb on your fingers 21. So we count 3 per finger. And then you blow the energy of this mantra on the mala and you spread it.
Dene umami dewari, dene yang tena ma tena soso rangwa. Dene yang tena ne, dene khashe dene umami dewari is.
And then we recite the mantra of Amitabha, Om Amideva Shri, and we can accumulate and count. And if we do so, then we count by but a regular number of rosaries, of series of hundreds of mantra.
Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Omami devare, omami devare, om beza satu samaya, manu balaya, beza satu tinupa, tita tinupa. Sudu goyo me bava, subu goyo me bava, nurodo me bava, zarva zede me dayada zarva karma suda. Sidam shirem guru ho, ha ho, baga vena sarvadada. Benzama mimo zambe zemo, mahasamaya sado a, om a, I, u, ri, ri, e, u, a, nga, ga, nga, za, nya, da, na, ba, ba. Yarala washaka zahaja sowa ha om edama edu draba wa edenda kentada hayawada de kenta yenera da yomba de ma jarmana ya sowa. Teneda Sopia deliver that so did some Mahago, Namji Pia but it's all the la. Tene Ramiam come Oma Hungi, then so the Dizilla, June, Tene Sanjay Obame, Tene Cho Shi, some the Tengogi, Sanjay Dajas Makan Sama, Tene so the Damambu Jury, Rame Homo, the Chevapia res, Tenamjinda, Tila Deshe Gamido.
Yes. So we completed the main session of the practice of Amitabha. As you can see, page 8, there's several sets of lines in italic. If you look at the second set, the last paragraph, and in the middle of it, second line, it says, at the end of the session, recite the 100 syllables, the Sanskrit consonant and vowels, and the mantra of interdependence, and so on, which is just what we have done. So in this way, we end the main body of the practice. And here in our text, we have what comes next, which is completely optional and which is not specific to this text. You have it, it's written in the italic. Then if you set out to do a Ghana Chakra performance, then you set out the Ghana Chakra substances, all excellent foods and drinks that you have, such as meat, alcohol, etc. So there's an entire teaching about what this means and how to do that and what it represents. But overall, it's about setting a feast with offerings, as many as we can, and gathering as many practitioners as possible, and inviting all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to present these offerings, which are completely transformed through our meditation and sacred syllables, Oma, Hum, Ramyam, Kam, to transform whatever makes our ordinary perception and existence of this scene into a primordial wisdom and great bliss ritual. So this is not specific to Amitabha, and it's really general Ghana Chakra practice, which is a very esoteric practice, but there is no specific instructions and explanation for this one.
Okay, page 8A.
So let's do it together. Page 8A.
Shri Ranye Sembe Tule Ramyam Kam Trebe So Mada Sector Tre Oma Hongi Same Dit Jawanye Jeje Jesu Ramyam Kam Dirda Ome A Hong Ome A
You do this muja as you recite Om.
That's how we jilabra Jede.
This is for the consecration. This is the gesture that supports this consecration of the substances and the offerings. So as we said,
Dene Tsoki Jinjilabne, Dene Tsopisa Yuduso, Dene Yang Manzola, Dene Shugirwa.
So that was the consecration of the Ghana Chakra offering. So this is very separate part of ritual, which is additional. So first we consecrate and bless the offerings, which we just did. And we do that as we sprinkle the substances, we perform a visualization, a meditation, and we recite what we just said, Shri, I am the Bodhisattva. From my heart radiate Ram Yang Kam, which in turn burn, blow, and wash the impurities of the Ghana Chakra. With Om Ah Hum, the substances become a flow of unblemished nectar, Samaya substances, which cause the Buddhas to rejoice. And then we recite Ram Yang Kam Om Ah Hum with this gesture, this mudra. And then we perform the offering itself.
Tuje chemo guru bema Joje moñe ro toja aje ne so ga do danje Dam je je jo nyan je lo ye she jo ge do sa do sa om guru da ge ne ba za samaya za za ne dila dene dramaru zar chikra.
So that was not yet the actual presentation of the offerings, it was the invitation of the guest for the feast. And we conclude this invitation with the mantra from Sanskrit Formula, Om Guru Dakini Vajra Samaya Za Za, which invites them, and we play the bell and the damaru, and when we conclude Tsar Chik Dubana.
Chik.
We end with just one dry single tsar at the end.
Jikela.
So let's read it in English. Starts page 8a, third line. 3. From the paradise of the three kayas, without center or borders, protector Buddha Amitabha of discriminating wisdom, most compassionate Guru Padmasambhava, his 25 accomplished disciples, and the ocean of accomplished beings, Dakinis of the three places, and the ocean of oath-bound beings. In this place of the secret Ghana Chakra of great bliss from the non-manifest sphere, come and pour down great wisdom upon these yogis and practitioners. Bless this sublime, liberating Samaya substances. Bestow upon us the accomplishment of sublime wisdom. When we say his 20 is your 20, because we're talking to them, we're inviting them. So most compassionate Guru Padmasambhava, and line 9, you 25 accomplished disciples, you come down and come and pour down great wisdom.
Tene da cheba chinji lab so sama biyorba chodi chok shengengi laso namkha gang yor chok digen zambolin gang yorda yiki trune da di cheba figure kusum shingshu sanje yobame tene lama idam khando jawa chaso laso 참 제가 상매기 뒤에 소주 쳐봐도 피규 툭 제보제네 셰네 다다 심젤라 초도 좀 용어도 나오나 세가들다.
So now at this stage we're going to offer the talk, the Ghana Chakra, which means we are now in a state of contemplation when the space is filled with our guests, which are all the enlightened and saint beings of all the universe, past, present, future. And the space is also filled with our display of offerings, which through our meditation, through our mental visualization and imagination, we fill the space with the offerings, the Ghana Chakra offerings, pure, immaculate offerings. Immaculate, which means not stained by dualistic grasping. And now we offer, so as we offer page 9a and the first part, which is the best part, what comes first, we say, Protector Amitabha, who resides in the paradise of the three kayas, with three roots, Buddhas, and ocean of assemblies of deities, I offer you this Ghana Chakra of pure nectar. Enjoy it and bestow upon me the ordinary and supreme accomplishments. it is as we offer this Ghana Chakra, this pure nectar of realization that we offer, filling the space, not only the Guru, the Buddhas, the Amitabha, they rejoice, they enjoy, and they rejoice, and they enjoy it, but they, in return, they bestow upon us the blessing of all the spiritual accomplishments. We don't play instrument at this stage. We just let the arms rest, the hands rest.
Are gozum shisho gego ambame zazo jewa ijade elatola same de ye toy je ambame je chode gemendo sadozo omgoro de wada kene kana sada poda ka tila damarusum zarsum.
And here as we recite the Sanskrit formula which actualize the offering, we say Om Guru Devada Ghana Chakra Puja Ka Ka Kai. We play the bell, we play the damaru, and we end the play of the damaru with a 3 dry, quick tar. And you may have noticed I add that when we chant this, we add a syllable after every 4th syllable, kusum shing chu, and then we add e and sasum gerwa yi, gyatsola zola saniduti yi, tokichipagu gishishotni, nguduktel so that it fits with the rhythm. We add an extra syllable just for the melody.
Da sangagi lugla sokju chiba pya di kare seti dikwa shakpar dikwa dagyor pe mesi tere tin zangda danda dila shi dagi tser mone dati bar sedi shakpa pya tanganzo anzo tserab mangbo la dikwa shacha chetiso tene so pisagi tene lhaso ge tunla den konda dikwa de shagyor tere.
When we perform a Ghana Chakra, which is a tantric feast with many offerings, many guests, many practitioners, and we gather all the wisdom of all the practitioners, all the realization, it's a very important moment also to purify our own negativities. And therefore, the Ghana Chakra includes a confession, a purification. So we have to vow, acknowledge our negativity and present it in front of all these enlightened ones. And in this context and esoteric scene, Vajrayana tantric scene, it's the time to lay down, to put down our own negativity, to get rid of it. So that is what comes next. It's called the confession, and we're going to chant this part. When we end this recitation, we play the bell and the hand drum and the damaru, and we end with a triple tsar at the end. So what we just said is 3, the confession. Throughout all my past lives until now, that which is the cause of falling into the lower worlds of samsara, the 10 negative acts, the 5 acts with immediate consequence, all stains and all downfalls of the 3 types of vows. With great regret and much remorse, I disclose them. Being free of all obstructions and having been cleared of all faults, enable me to swiftly realize the fruit, the 3 kayas, spontaneous presence.
Da dene igja den namka zedido igja sanama sarvata da gaya bayi bishu so sedi yang jinji labgyorte cheze diso tudam kongze se do tudam kongze se de mena rakta torma tene di dire da di chebe zedi sola yang mangbo so ne yang ya pyo dirwa dire.
And next is part of the Ghana Chakra, and it is what we call the restorative substances, which is a special offering that will fulfill the commitment with also different kinds of spiritual entities. So it's also part of the confession and offering of the Ghana Chakra, and it comes with the fulfillment and the repair of our connection. And with that, we do a special gesture, which is called, it's written page 10 in italic. The following is the mantra of the fulfillment substances, the space treasure. So it's a mudra and a mantra that come together, which are called the space treasure, and which, along with the visualization and the meditative state, purifies and multiplies the offerings, filling the space. That's why it's called space treasure. I'm not going into the details, but this is the way it is performed, and we imagine that the fulfillment substances are in this way transformed and transformed into substances that will repair our connection and that will fulfill whatever promises we have done and commitment we have done, and that the link is completely restored, fulfilled.
Om Bezer Zato Zamaya Manambalaya Bezer Zato Dinamba Dikta Dito Meba Suto Kaya Meba Wa Sopo Kaya Meba Wa Noranda Meba Wa Sarva Siddhi Men Sarva Karma Suzame Zetam Jerem Guru Ha Ha Ho Bhagavana Sarva Dada Bezer Mame Moza Beze Bawa Mahasama Sadova Nama Sarva Dada Gada Bayu Bushu Mukhe Sarva Ugade Sabarana Imam Gagane Kamso Ha Nama Sarva Dada Gada Bayu Bushu Mukhe Sarva Dega Vigade Sabarana Imam Gagane Kamso Nama Sarva Dada Gada Bayu Bushu Mukhe Sarva Ugade Sabarana Imam Gagane Kamso Then
we play, so we recited the 100 syllable mantra as part of the confession that we did before, and now along with this space treasure and this mantra and this mudra, now we play the bell and the damaru.
Me jodam ze toje goloda de cha sawa choge dojoda me dorada joroda dorawaye Rana se ba sum je je zo jo. Kanze den de do be a je. Che na sa ve che tre sa me ja. Koro suma ye do re pa zang da le. De suma boy jo dar wa ye de me lo. Re da ja ve zer lo de le bo. Sa me a je da we go lam je. Tam je nyam lo ti le de wa je. Ko she le do la me do da ma ga. Ko bo ye ba me je do da ma ga. De she ja wa ja je do. Ja se se ba ja je do da ma ga. Ye da ma ja wa shi che do da ma ga. Ne son ba we fan do do da. Do je che so ja je do da ma ga. To da nye bo da ge kan jo ne. Nyam cha do de chi chi yin so sha ma do ka do ma ya ma na ma. Do do do de ne ma de ne ne bo do do ko ya no. So wa si de me de do so ra ko na su do ne su do de ne. Azama me ma de ne de ma ma sa ma ya sa do. Tila damaru tsar sum go. Tene kangwa se dire tudam kang se di shakbarang wa idam gala so namla. Tene konda tene charanzo tugnala karyo di ngaki tene prezi wana manchakita te offering chene dire tudam. Tudam kang se di dire wa ngala kar kugidu di michi ki tena tene nga kagire wa tene nge tudam kang se re.
So when we conclude, finish this part, again we play the Damaru and the bell. Damaru tsar kashi
Sum.
3 times. The tsar at the end is 111. So we can read that section in English, which is called the fulfillment. So how, where is it? Yeah, it's mentioned page 10 in the italic. The following is the mantra of the fulfillment substances. It's called fulfillment substances, and there is a mantra to consecrate, which is called the space treasure, and the practice is called fulfilling, and it is filling the broken gap, the broken link is we are filling the gaps, we are filling the broken connection. And the way we do that is through offering whatever could fulfill that. So if you look in the text, for instance, page 11, second line, you have, I read the phonetics or the Tibetan, but you can read the phonetics. Kushi Rundup Lamet Tukdam Kang, and then Gumbu Ruba Meki Tukdam Kang, and then the Shekewa gets Tukdam Kang. So you have this expression Tukdam Kang, which comes also the next line, it ends with Tukdam Kang and Tukdam Kang. If you can add a H if you want, Tukdam Kang and Tukdam Kang. So this is what we call the fulfillment. We perform this fulfilling practice, which is saying, I'm sorry, I didn't respect what would make our connection full and fulfilled, and I am now fulfilling it. So whatever in your mind, in your heart, you expect and you would like, I bring it. So therefore we call up fulfillment substances, like we're bringing as an offering what will fill the broken, the gap that we have created by not respecting our commitment, a spiritual commitment to goodness, to kindness, and to effort and exerting oneself. So, this being said, let's look at the text, page 10a. So it's called the fulfilling restoration with the help of offering. Shri, and we can read slowly together usually. I'm sorry, I'm reading a bit fast. So slowly. Shri, in this lotus pure land of great bliss, the Ghana Chakra of wonderful Samaya substances, the sublime secret conduct of great bliss, the man, Dharma, Rakta, union and liberation, my projections, all the phenomena of the three world, the substances of fulfilling, substances of support, and great substances of accomplishment, clouds of exterior, interior, and secret offerings, surpassing thought, unobstructed knowledge, are since beginningless time free of the three reference points, the primordial sphere, free from the movement of the three times, radiant awareness, expanse of rainbow light, inside the tigli of uncontaminated, peaceful, and wrathful light bodies, dazzle and dazzle. All is permeated by the vast equanimity of the great sphere. With this, I fulfill the mind of the Guru endowed with the four kayas. I fulfill the mind of protector Amitabha. I fulfill the mind of an ocean of victorious Sugatas. I fulfill the mind of an ocean of bodhisattvas. I fulfill the mind of peaceful and wrathful victorious deities. I fulfill the mind of the Dakas and Dakinis of the three places. I fulfill the mind of an ocean of Vajra Dharma guardians. Having fulfilled their minds, or your minds, because we're talking to them, having fulfilled your minds, I confess my downfalls, broken vows, concepts, and veils in the Dharma Dhatu.
Dene da tsoklak lebara, da tsoklak. Tsoklak ma pyo
Then there is the enjoyment of the tzok, which is distributed, and then there is the leftover, which here is called the remnants. So after enjoying the tzok, there's a part of it, of the offerings, which is left aside as a remnant or leftover, or an extra section, which is now dedicated to certain kind of guests. So it's called dedication of the remnants here.
Shi Wang Jinpa Ma Yeruke Chinkur Jongwe Kando Dang King Da Langa Barma Sing Deye La Doro Dijela Nejur Che Dan Tumbai Cherveleg Dubarden Balinda Haye Chamaru Sarsum.
As we pronounce Balinta Kahi, we play the damaru, the hand drum, and we end with a triple tar.
Injikela.
Let's read it in English, this section of the dedication of the remnants, what is called remnants, but it's the usual section of leftover. Shri, the mandala of powerful Padma Heruka, its exterior protected by the Dakinis, guardian skeleton spirits, furies of Lanka. Accept this pleasant Dharma remnants. Accomplish all the activities in harmony with the Dharma that this practitioner entrusts you.
Dene ba meji jingordo soje kolo cheba ye da shin towa jingur ju do do bar joni do de me mage je lab je ba do ba da ba me da ko ban zender do jerde kor je ge de zo za ba ye benge wa mali je de chen jang chu chu ge jingur do gu som je se je to che ngo da di da malam da che wa
So this is a general wish that comes after any Ghana Chakra. Let's read it together. Page 12. So here it's for Amitaba. In the Mandala of Amitaba, by offering this circle of Ghana Chakra, may I and other beings without exception attain realization in the same mandala. No longer covered by the impurities of falls and downfalls, and having completed great waves of practice, may I then attain the state equal to Amitabha in this very life. I dedicate all virtues accumulated throughout the 3 times of samsara and nirvana, that which has come into being and that which has not, as yet, gathered as one into this mandala of great bliss and supreme enlightenment for attainment of the great kingdom of the 3 kayas, 3 bodies.
다 참만 차도가 되네 다기 대화진의 깨알라 멜람기 또기 깨투레 세테 멜람기 빼차 망보이나양 남지 뒤뒤디 이마호 설상제디 대화진의 깨 멜람레 어디 설숨 등이 라고 테마잖네.
And so the Ghana Chakra section is finished. And now before the practice is completed and concluded, rather before it's concluded, because the purpose is to accomplish this attainment of the pure land of Amitabha. There are many practices and especially many aspiration prayers where we express this wish to be reborn in Dewachen. And here they have added, it's been added one of the most powerful and concise aspiration prayer, which is cultivating the wish to be reborn in Dewachen. So we usually recite it 3 times before we conclude.
Endo zambai do jendo nangla sanje jangzen ba me goje go deje ngozara bando memba ende wa jeje jave jingamde tane dene chebe jurmanda chewa jenje barma jema neroi jene nangde jedo jo Dike dake amala etabande Choje sanje jangse me damje je Gingme dubara jenje lamdaza Teya daya benza deya awa bodana Soya ma oye ngotara sanje Nangwa daya daya soy jo Tuje chembo da Endo zambai tu jendo namla sanje janzen ba me gorjewa deje ngozara bandu memba iye dewa jenje jave shingam der tane dene sebe jumanda jewa shinje barma jamba deroi jene nangde jedo sho Dige dage amala dabade Cheje sanje jangse mendam jeje Gengme dubara jenje landa Teya daya benza de Awa bodana yezo İncike tola çek.
So instead of 3 times in Tibetan, let's do the last 3rd time in English. Page 12a. Wemahu, wonderful, the wonderful Buddha, infinite light, Amitabha. To his right, the Lord, great compassion, Chenrezig. To his left, the Bodhisattva, great power, Vajrapani. They are surrounded by countless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. A marvelous and immeasurable happiness prevails in this pure land called the Blissful One, Dewachen. As soon as we have come to live this life, without taking rebirth anywhere else, may we be reborn there and gaze upon the face of infinite light. This aspiration we have thus expressed, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. please grant your blessing so that this aspiration is fulfilled. The last sentence is missing, but you guess.
다 정말 잘다 타마 디림라 그러와 다기 삼로 땅셔지서 봐 되고 그러와 디랍디 되네 시 카첩 저와다기를 팀 세디 라니 체네세 공네요 카첩 근도리 저기 셈전 탐제 다 셈기 삼거라 셈전 탐제 자외기 남바진데 랑 체네시라 팀송 삼거다 간세나 코로디 메바타 개처럼 코로디 피니스어야 된다. 가장 좋아한다길래 팀 직제 다니세만 낭데 투 같은 세대 랑양 외도시네 제네 외충중 지네 선제여버 메기 투가라 팀 다니세만 낭데 투 같은 나타 메미 체인도라도 되네 타마 상제 어바메데양 되네 자외게 남바바 되네 동발라 장네 되네 코르숨 레데 영침브라 강달 정말 뒤산에 코르숨 메믹바 되네 예롱 동반잉하라 다기 먼저 동반이 개참망 보시서 마행바 젬바 리퀘스트 되네 강라 롱침브라 세데네 되 동반잉하라 추고 동반잉하라 참아 되네 바 되네 준네테 동반이 주는 거딜라 데스 검잡고로.
So with this, the practice is completed, and now we need to dissolve it all, bring all the realization into oneself, and dedicate the merit. So page 13a is as it says in italic, you can see it ends with the saying, finally, the dissolution fades. And this is how the dissolution is done. I'm reading the translation directly. The beings which fill space, so we have visualized as it says, it's said, but this in Tibetan it's exactly the same word. Before it was as many as the space can hold, which means filling space. The beings fill space, and all these beings now melt into light. And this process of melting all beings into light is like putting an end to samsara, which is exactly what we want to do from the beginning of the practice, is bring all sentient beings to the great realization, which liberates them from turning round and round. So here, this is what we do as a conclusion. All sentient beings now turn into light, and I am great compassion, and all this light comes and gathers and comes and dissolves into, as it says here, melt into my body. So in the form of light, it's the gathering of light, bringing all sentient beings out of samsara by bringing them into the body of great compassion. And myself, great compassion, I melt, I also turn into light, and this light dissolves into the heart of my great being, the great enlightenment, Amitabha. And in having performed this dissolution within the heart of Amitabha, everything is dissolved, and there only remains the primordial. There is no more conceptualization. We just rest without fabrication in this primordial awareness, which here is referred to as unreferenced Dhammadhatu, which means it's the state where there is no reference to anything, no grasping, no fabrication, no reference. That's why it's called unreferenced Dhammadhatu. It's the primordial sphere beyond the free reference point. Whatever that means, it means there is no more conceptualization, no more fabrication. This is emptiness. This is the state where we stop, we don't grasp, we don't solidify, we don't identify any self, oneself or the self of any phenomenon. Nothing is grasped as existing, but we just developed and discussed this morning, the emptiness, the lack of inherent existence, the absence of existence, nor existing nor non-existing. So we just rest in this state of non-fabrication. And this is expressed, this emptiness, contemplation, realization is here guarded into the sound and the syllable. Ah. And there we rest. So we can read it in English. The beings which fill space melt into my body, and I melt into the heart of the great being Amitabha, unreferenced Dharmadhatu, the primordial sphere beyond the three reference points. Ah.
Dila da gom nyamshak gom jabe da disi ngoma di diri da tene da di chama rangla timne rani yami mikwa ta manye da chone tingang la tene kama khashe chi gom jabe disi diri dila nyamshak sikirwa nyamshak yunga la ti nyamshak la yunungbu detu marwa tene lamsang tene jetub la yang arjun nakshin jetub la rodi tene yangchar genesik desi lela bo chene yangchar genesik ku dango yor jetub la du tene gewango ko yor bandere.
So this is when we talk about meditation in the path of a bodhisattva, the path that meditation that leads to realizing and seeing directly the ultimate nature. This is what we're doing here as we rest without fabrication. So we have gradually dissolved every visualization, every conceptualization, and at the end everything has dissolved. There's nothing to identify and conceptualize anymore. And this is the actual resting in meditation, the actual meditation. And everything else that we have done before is a part of practice, which is not the actual resting meditation, because we do visualize and we have some activities that we deliberately create. And so these are called post-meditation. It's not the main meditation, the equanimity. It's post-equanimity. And now we rest in equanimity without fabrication, but we are not able to rest for a long time in that state because the energy of fabrication is so much ingrained that it comes back. But then we bring that energy into the post-meditation. So we harness that energy into a spiritual practice, and now the practice is the dedication. So we're not trying to stay long in a sort of fake equanimity because we cannot sustain it. We rather shift to another practice, which is called post-meditation, and which is just our ordinary practice with concept. And here the concept is dedicating virtue for the enlightenment of all beings. We call it dedication.
Then indicate no.
So let's read this dedication together in English. 3. The accumulated roots of virtue in the 3 times, the 2 profound and progressive yogas, all the roots of virtue, whatever they may be, I dedicate to the infinitude of beings so that they obtain Buddhahood.
Shindi samule sange zawa dang rimnye zamo nenjur lad gewe zawa jinye ye ba kun ta ye du sanje to chere ngo da gewa ngo ne dida nyambu tene trashi melam di yongu yorba di korang luksu laburba tene melam chap korba gewa ngo melam chap trashi chitere dandashi kamsum ritos tene de anchi injikela dena.
So we always conclude when after resting in equanimity, which is the actual main meditation, we always conclude with dedication. When we come back to our ordinary state where the concepts are there, we always direct this concept into first dedication, which we have just done, and then you can see next it's written wishing prayer. And is there something next? No. So this is a tradition because it makes sense that our concepts are sort of oriented and sort of formed or harnessed in a certain way so that the imprint of functioning of fabrication goes in a way. So the way is dedicating to all beings and doing wishes. So again, we always do that. There are the general wishes, and then there are what we call the tashi, which are not just an aspiration, but it's sort of invoking auspiciousness. So these 3 usually come at the end of a ritual. After the resting in equanimity, we dedicate, we express aspirations, and we invoke auspiciousness. Or evoke, rather, we evoke auspiciousness before we can end the formal practice. So we'll read that in English.
Yes.
While we still have a few minutes, page 14, second line. The 6 classes of beings in the 3 spheres arising from the 4 types of birth, their emotional veils and dualistic concepts having been purified and eliminated, may they see their own face as primordial wisdom and obtain the happiness of the state of Amitabha. May the majestic and changing body bring auspiciousness. May the 60 qualities of speech bring auspiciousness. May the infallible and unlimited mind bring auspiciousness. May the body, speech, and mind of the conqueror bring auspiciousness. May we live 100 years and see 100 autumns. May our life be long, free of illness and happy. May all be fulfilled. May we definitely move towards the great vehicle. May the protectors of virtue bestow auspiciousness. May happiness reign during the day and during the night. May all be auspicious all day long. May a happiness always reign every day and night. May the 3 jewels bestow auspiciousness. We hold the bell and the vajra, we at this time we hold it very upright, holding it from the base, from the bottom.
Shikam sumarido chene jedeme Dravayana je nye jedeme zo Jangshe dane eje rajado Nande goma tobe Minjuralembo kuye tajejo Elai dojo songe tajejo Tadalaideme Tuje Dajijo Jeve Gozo Tuje Dajijo Loja Doje Tenja Dovaida Tsere Aineme Deje Abozomozo Tegwai Jola Nge Parai Jojurabe Trashi Aideja Tendere Yemoy Dele Tendele Nyeme Goya Deleje Nyenze Adado Delema Konjo Zonji Trashi Da Dene Dila Tamar Mindu Dene Samacharda.
So at each time we say Tashishu, we play the bell and the damaru, and then we can put the bell and the doji down.
Dene da Dene Manzo Diwa Dilen Disu Mindu Chize Taptan Rosarson Yang Chizu Dubala Dene Sama Chizu Dubala Ambiti Chegitus Linyamlenjela.
That's it. So with this, we completed the ritual and we have put the bell and the vajra down. And we are just reaching the end of our session, so we don't really have time for a question and answer session. I'm sorry for that, but we can perform all together the ritual in 1 hour. So it will be 5 o'clock UK time, London time, and you are all invited to join. So with this text and performing all together with all the instruments, and that will be streamed live on Facebook in 1 hour.
Dene Tama Manzo Dring Nimani La Zum Gitari Chingen Tene Dupa UK Tene Dupa UK Gitari Che Dila Tene Group Shen Mangbo Tene Saporjen Zomne Tene Manzo Nimani La Pe Yakuchung Malam Pe Kabuchung Songs Tene Dring Pengen Dang Tene Ke Jurgen Dang Tati Chingen Tene Manzo Dila Pulurela Pemadang Letishadi Song Tsangmala Tuji Che Shuwe Ning Tawane Che Sui Rang Yu Pe Yakbuchung Kabuchung Tuji Che.
So just as a conclusion, I would like to say that it was great to have you joining for these 2 days of teachings, and it was very good. It all went very well. It was really great that you joined, and I want to express my deep gratitude for the organizers. I know that setting up, even if it's on Zoom, is still a lot of work and technicalities and complexities. So big thank you to the organizers for such a spiritual time we have spent together. And also, of course, thank you all. Thank the organizer, thank the translator, and also thank the people on my side who assist me with computers and Zoom. And thank everyone. That was a great moment together. Very meaningful, very precious.
Dene Dalo Maranzo Tene Tsangma Yakbu Jungnane Nyungne Giporgam Giten Suendabuchi Res Tenden Nyungne Tene Dalo Jaon Ruba Peptugumito Tenden Tene Lojima Manzarwa Jabgares Rva Tilabde da Dalo Zerim Chimbuchi Kaya Medos Tene October Nyungne di Tsutuna Tene Zerim Pulurik Zerim di Manzo di Chegis.
So, as for the next program, normally we are meant to resume the insight in our Dharma Center programs where everybody can join physically in person. That is meant to happen this autumn with the new Moon practices, which are great collective practices of great compassion and purification. So we hope to be able to do that if nothing bad happens. This is the plan, this is the program. And otherwise, His Holiness will not be able to come this year, so no big event with His Holiness the Nawang Jinpa for now. But next year, definitely we'll invite His Holiness and have him with us. So that's the news. So no big event soon, too soon, but perhaps, hopefully, this new retreat in Puri, in French Brittany.
Tene nga London pe tingi do takwa tingi do London la tene changma yakbu jana yongi isro charangso London pe tingi do tene Eurostar de TGP nang pe kibu do.
I want to say also something special for you, the British and UK Sangha, and especially the London Sangha, that I miss you. I really think of you regularly, and I miss you, and I hope to be able to come soon. And I already see myself in the Eurostar and crossing the channel on the ground and coming to London. And really, I have this in my mind. So I miss you, I miss London, and I hope to see you very soon. And this is also the plan. You know, these days the situation is a little bit not so clear. So I cannot promise 100% that next time I'll be there, but this is my view, this is my wish.
Tene sangma tuji she yang tu se mindo. Thank
So,
you
okay, it's time
everybody.
to conclude because we have to go. Thank you very much and see you and thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Sangma tonggudu. Ngoshigidu
And I recognize you. I see you. I saw he's doing it like that. I see you. I'm very happy to see you. And bye for now. And join us at 5 UK time or next time. And see you next time. You can turn on your camera for the last seconds and say, wait, bye-bye.
Merci. Merci. Voilà, c'est bien. Merci beaucoup. Bien passé, non?
Oui, très bien passé.
Là, Zoom gi le khadi sar songa ta chuti chi gi chela tiring namgang raba tene choji kholo khor go re Amitaba go pa me choji kholo tene sangma nyam shu na ro na shu gi de da live ton ndo go re Zoom me ro na so tu ji che